Hi everybody, today I'm redesigning the characters from the newly announced My Little Pony Forever Friendship, while also sharing some of my honest first impressions of the new series. Before we get started, I want to take the time to talk about the designs you'll see later in this video. Recently, I've been wanting to simplify my pony art style so that my designs are easier for me to draw and eventually animate sometime in the future. To begin experimenting with that, I've studied the work of Lovely Brew. I really admire the way they use long silhouettes, simplified shapes, and flowing manes and decorative markings. These characters and redesigns are my own, but this particular experiment heavily inspired by their visual design. You'll see this in this video and a more in-depth analysis in next week's video. Over time, I want to be able to take this style combined with other character studies from other artists and develop a style that's more personally my own. Anyway, enough with this rant, let's get back into the video. The show is planned to premiere on YouTube in early 2027, with 9-minute episodes releasing every other week. The announced core cast currently consists of Twilight Sparkle, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, leaving Applejack and Rarity outside the main lineup revealed so far. I will leave my references in the description for you to go check it out if you want to. For my redesigns, I imagined a version that brought back the complete main six while combining ideas from Friendship is Magic, Generation 3, and early G4 concepts. The video will be separated into two parts. The first part will be me talking through my thoughts of the new generation. The second half is me designing these ponies. So if you're only interested in seeing my new designs, then I'll leave a timestamp on screen here. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe for more My Little Pony redesigns, speed paints, and other character animations that might happen in the future. Now, let's get into Forever Friendship. I want to begin by saying that I'm not completely against this series. We've only seen promotional material, so there's a lot we don't know. And the artwork is colorful, expressive, and I'm curious to see these familiar characters interpreted through a new lens. However, my biggest concern is the decision to focus only on 4 ponies, while it's being considered a reboot of Generation 4. Applejack and Rarity were essential parts of the original group, while Applejack brought her family, honesty, tradition, and a more grounded perspective in the group. And Rarity brought her creativity, ambition, fashion, and drama. Even if they appear later, they're not currently being presented as equal members of the main cast. Leaving them out makes the group feel unfinished. It feels like the show wants the recognition of the main 6 in Generation 4 without fully committing to the Friendship is Magic made so well. I don't know if that makes sense. I would have preferred either a completely new group of ponies or a full reinterpretation of all 6. I'm also concerned about the 9-minute episode lengths. The creators have described the show as a serialized and character-driven, with relationships, plot lines, and emotional arcs developing over time, while remaining accessible to younger and newer viewers. Connected episodes could make this work, but 9-minute episodes still doesn't feel like a lot of time to introduce a problem, explore how the characters feel about that, and then reach a satisfying conclusion in that amount of time. The short YouTube format, bright presentation, and simple music also allow the series to seem more directly animated at younger children. There's nothing wrong with this because My Little Pony has always been made for children. However, Friendship is Magic became special because it trusted its younger viewers to understand the flawed characters and complicated emotions, and the stories that sometimes need room to breathe and time to do it. I hope Forever Friendship can find the same balance even if it's only going to be in a 9-minute episode. Another thing that immediately stood out to me was how much the new designs resemble slightly altered versions of the rainbow power forms you see in Season 4 finale of Friendship is Magic. Both styles used longer multicolored manes, brighter pastel combinations, glowing effects, and decorative markings that extend beyond the character's normal cutie marks. Fluttershy's additional greenish teal colors, Pinkie Pie's expanded rainbow palette with the blues, Rainbow Dash's more longer mohawk hair with the rainbow motifs under her eyes. You can see in the new Generation 6 art style, are very similar to the G4 rainbow form art style. The Rainbow Power was a temporary upgrade that represented the main 6 reaching a special and extremely powerful moment. Because the Forever Friendship designs appear to be their normal appearances, some of the visual contrast, I feel, could be lost. I would have preferred simpler starting designs with longer hair, glowing marks, and additional colors saved for a transformation later in the story. That could give the characters more visual room to grow and make a future magical form feel much more important. Then there is the theme song that has been released. I will play as much as I can before I get copyrighted right here. Anyway, the beat is catchy, and I can imagine it getting stuck in my head after hearing it a few times. At the same time, the released version's feels heavily processed to me. The effect removes some of the natural personality of the vocals, and the song feels fairly basic at the start of this new generation, compared to some of the older stuff, like Friendship is Magic and some of the Generation 3 songs. The recording currently available is a special cover performed by Cali Rodi, while the title sequence is expected to feature another version performed by the Pony Voice cast.
Quick editing interjection. I find it really funny that the music video had Applejack and Rarity in the description, even though they're not going to be in the series.
I'm willing to give this version a chance, but right now I would describe this song as catchy rather than truly memorable. With those thoughts out of the way, here's what I personally hope to see from the reboot. Starting with Twilight Sparkle. I kept her as a unicorn instead of beginning with her as an alicorn. Since this announced group only has 4 leads, I was worried that Twilight could become the center of almost every story. In my version, or the version of the show that I would hope to see, I hope it is able to be more of a true ensemble, with different episodes focusing on different ponies and their relationships. Twilight would remain intelligent, organized, and fascinated by magic, but she would not automatically be the leader or the final solution to a big conflict. I would like to see her occasionally take a supporting role while another pony would be allowed to make an important decision or be the center of attention in a couple episodes. For her design, I gave her a taller, more elegant body shape. Her longer legs and raised pose make her appearance confident and mature, but keeping her as a unicorn shows she still has a lot of room to grow. I added large round glasses to immediately emphasize her academic personality. They also gave her face a more distinctive silhouette and make her look like someone who's always reading, researching, or overthinking a situation. Her mane keeps Twilight's familiar dark purple and pinks, but I added pale blues and yellows to kind of contrast her original colors, and it shows off her rainbow form a little more, and looks more like the reboot. I also made her mane and tail extremely long and curled to give her a more dramatic appearance and tie back into her Generation 3 form. For Fluttershy, I made her an Earth Pony. This resembles an early G4 idea because Lauren Faust's original inspiration for Fluttershy was connected to Posey, a Generation 1 Earth Pony. However, Posey was not the main inspiration for my design. I based my version more on the Generation 3 pony, who is also named Fluttershy. G3 Fluttershy had a pale pink body, pink, yellow, purple hair, and butterfly and flower symbol. I wanted to borrow the soft and decorative feeling of that character while keeping the pale yellow body that makes G4 Fluttershy immediately recognizable. As an Earth Pony, her story could explore the quiet, nature-based abilities of Earth Ponies rather than the Pegasus's flight or Unicorn's magic. Perhaps she can sense more of the emotions of animals and encourage damaged plants to recover. It feels like we could get more emotion from an Earth Pony side, Earth Pony magic, since we didn't get a lot of that in Friendship is Magic. For this design, I decided to give her an enormous mane that falls around her, almost like that fits her almost entire body. Its shape is meant to feel protective, almost like something she can hide inside whenever she becomes nervous, like you see at the beginning of episode 1 of Friendship is Magic. At the same time, the size of the mane gives her a bigger silhouette, so her quiet personality doesn't cause her to visually disappear behind the other ponies. The pink connects her to the Fluttershy people already know, while the purples and greens bring out the more colorful G6 influence and reinforce her connection to flowers and nature. I also added pale markings across her face and shoulders, with butterfly sparkles trailing down her legs. For Rainbow Dash, I leaned strongly into her Generation 3 personality and presentation. G3 Rainbow Dash was a light blue earth pony with a multicolored mane and rainbow between clouds symbol. She also frequently presented through styling toys and fashion accessories. I wanted to combine that glamorous side with the athletic Pegasus personality recognized from Generation 4. Since Rarity is not a part of the announced central group, the reboot could use Rainbow Dash to explore the fashion in different ways. She could still be competitive and obsessed with flying, but she also cares deeply about her presentation. She would not only want to win, but she would want every pony to remember how incredible she looked while winning. For her design, I kept her blue body rainbow themed, while making her mane a little longer and smoother and much more deliberately styled. Instead of looking windswept and practical, it looks more like a hairstyle she carefully prepared while making her entrance. I extended the rainbow colors throughout her wing feathers to make the wings look like they were meant for presentation over flight, even though flying is still an essential part of her personality and character traits. The small lightning bolts scattered down her legs and on her face are probably more representative of her Generation 4 rainbow form and her Generation 6 form, which I think kind of ties all of them together. The final design is still fast and sporty, but it also suggests that she enjoys performing. For Pinkie Pie, I wanted to make her a Pegasus. Like Fluttershy, this resembles an early G4 idea. Lauren Faust's early Pinkie concept was connected to Surprise, a Generation 1 Pegasus who helped inspire the character. However, Surprise is not my main inspiration behind this redesign. I based her more directly on the Generation 3 character who was already named Pinkie Pie, just like Fluttershy. G3 Pinkie Pie had a pink body, light pink hair, blue eyes, and familiar 3 balloon symbol, and a personality strongly connected to parties, friendship, and making other ponies happy. I wanted to preserve the bright and cheerful identity that, while imagining how it might work if this version had wings. Pinkie Pie already acts as though gravity is optional. She could decorate clouds for parties, enter scenes from weird directions, and fly without using any recognizable technique. She'd also could be a friendly flying rival for Rainbow Dash. Rainbow was trained seriously and treats every race like a championship, while Pinkie could somehow keep up through pure enthusiasm while ignoring every rule or proper flying. For this design, I made her wings long and dramatic, but kept the rest of her silhouette soft and rounded. Her enormous cloud-like curls, hot pink and blue and yellow, make her look like a combination of cotton candy, balloons, and party decorations, kind of like her rainbow form, and slightly inspired by her new Gen 6 form. Because Applejack is not part of the announced central cast, her section is going to be based entirely what I wanted her to look like, and from what I have seen from the other designs of G6. I kept her honest, dependable, and hardworking G4 personality, but I wanted to give her a stronger personal arc. A reboot could explore the pressure Applejack places on herself, her responsibilities towards her family, and whether following tradition is always the same thing as choosing her own future. She could genuinely love her family and the farms while still questioning what she wants for herself. That would allow her to experience and continue an emotional journey instead of always being the responsible pony who can help be a grounded character for everyone else's problems. Visually, I wanted to lean into the Generation 3 Applejack, who has a red body, green and yellow hair, green eyes, and an apple-themed picnic symbol. I used coral red body to separate her from the orange G4 design while keeping her color palette warm and earthy. Her mane combines the cream, bright green, and soft pinks. The green connects her directly to the G3 Applejack, while the cream fits more of her Generation 4 design. And the pink is helping her fit more of that new Generation 6 design with the multicolors. I kept her signature cowgirl hat because why not? It's one of the clearest parts of Applejack's silhouette in Generation 4. And she's a more elaborate G4 Applejack, but she still looks sturdy, practical, and ready to work. Finally, we have Rarity. I wanted to lean into the Generation 3 Rarity, who was portrayed as a young, cheerful, energetic unicorn who could also be mischievous sometimes, preferring to have fun over completing her responsibilities. In this new generation, she could remain artistic and interested in beautiful things, but she would also be more impulsive and experimental than an established business owner, as we knew in G4. Instead of already owning a successful boutique, she could still be discovering what kind of artist she wants to become. She might be experimenting with clothes, jewelry, painting, sculptures, and magical art before finding the medium that truly fits her. This would create an interesting dynamic with Twilight. Twilight was always carefully planning everything in advance, while Rarity might change the entire plan last second because she suddenly had a more exciting idea. For her design, I kept her white body and diamond imagery, so she remained immediately recognizable. However, I replaced most of her purple mane with large sections of lavender, pink, pale blue, yellow, and deep plum. The oversized curls make her appearance elegant, while many of the colors make her feel younger and more playful, just like her G3 design. Her mane looks carefully polished from a distance, but unusual colors combinations suggest she's constantly experimenting with her appearance. Her tall posture, narrow face, and dramatic hair give her the most traditional glamorous silhouette of the group. She looks like a pony who wants to be elegant, but is still having fun discovering what elegance means to her. Overall, I'm curious about Forever Friendship. I am approaching it very cautiously. Leaving Applejack and Rarity outside the central cast, limiting the episodes to 9 minutes, and beginning the designs that already resemble magical transformations make me question how much room the series will have to grow. More than anything, I want the reboot to explore different sides of these characters rather than creating shorter, younger versions of the Generation 4 personalities. This is what I tried to do with these redesigns, keeping each pony recognizable while combining different generations, unused concepts, and new possibilities. Let me know which redesign was your favorite, whether you also noticed the rainbow power similarities, and what you want in the new series. Make sure to subscribe for more pony redesigns. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.